gonna be playing Injustice. I'm ready for Thank you,
What's up with your dog? You know what I'm saying? Big dog, Drake dog, red dog, blue dog, red dog, big dog, small dog. And we got some new people, new faces in the building, man. Last video we had, who we have? My man 26 on the right. And on the left side we had, Brandon. FVOB, man. You already know what it is. Beware, that guy. You already know what it is. But now we got some new faces. So let's start over my right. Who we got here, man?
Man, you already know who it is, man. It's Lazo. Checking in from the app. Just moved the pod on.
Heard you. Next to you, who we got? My man's.
It's Vic out here, man. Vic, you know, we out here.
You know what I'm saying? Big day.
University of Northwestern, we out here.
They represent, you know what I'm saying? On the right to him, who we got, God?
It's just them. Straight up. It's just them.
Dumbass nigga.
I don't need to make a special introduction.
Heard you.
Yeah.
Heard you.
And who you with?
Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Huh?
They call me Tony.
21.
You said Tony.
Tony. Usually we talk about relationships. Usually we talk about couples and all of that. But today we got a new topic. And we got some new questions here. Questions that they have never seen before, they have never heard or anything like that. So I
The way you turned it
No problem,
right? But as of right now, we want to talk about the main topic, which is growing up black, Christian, and male in the city. That's our topic today. For the first question, and this is just y'all speaking honestly, you know what I'm saying, off the dome, whatever y'all feel. What color is God? And what color is Jesus?
People get confused a lot. God isn't a color, he's a spirit. And if we going off of like biblical terms, they said Jesus was the color of a penny and his hair was nappy as a sheep. And I just find it funny that growing up in like Egypt and stuff like that, they don't expect your skin to be white or any type of color. It was definitely dark. I hate when they try to put it, he was either black or he was white or he was, you know, Hispanic or stuff like that. I don't know. But
never read the Bible first. I said, what?
What? No, but y'all got something else to say?
What nailed it.
No, I mean, I was about to say that. I've heard and seen plenty of times that Jesus, and not actually seen, but I've seen like on, you know, not social media, not saying that you're supposed to believe everything that's on social media, but you know, I'd rather believe that Jesus is brown. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, read it,
My folks white.
you know what I'm saying, heard it, all that.
You said folks white?
I thought he was white. Hey.
no, speak on
I know,
that
like,
because
like,
that's
really,
real.
It's real, yeah.
I thought he looked like Ray Sean, but a little lighter version. I ain't gonna lie to you. To be
I
honest.
mean, like, yeah, I never.
No. I thought he was white,
Nah.
curly hair,
Uh-huh.
typical.
Why you think that though?
Because
That's what everybody portrays.
that's what everybody
you know?
portrayed to be.
Internet,
That's what internet, the
people
pictures,
posting them talk about shout out God because he's awesome. You see God, he be white with
White
curly
with
hair,
curls,
blue eyes.
Earlier, yeah. Okay, now what you said? You said that God's black, right? God's black or brown. What? Now knowing that information and knowing whose God is, how do you feel about knowing that the Creator was or came from the same background as you, or grew up the way you did, in a way?
What you trying to say?
He can relate to you based off because you said he's black, right? If he's black, God's black. How it says it in the Bible.
Oh, the time is way different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Than before.
Yeah.
What's
So we
happening
can't
now?
even-
Yeah, but no, like back then, he was still black. You know what I'm saying? So
I get. So I mean,
Wait.
even back, folks was born way
That's what I'm
way
saying.
back
Times
before
were different.
it
Yeah.
was like slavery and stuff, right? If I'm not tripping.
yeah. So
Right, that's what I'm saying. So he
So
didn't
I'm-
go through slavery or he ain't go through what what white people do to black people nowadays, even though racism is supposedly over. You know.
Yeah, facts. So how do you feel knowing that he?
No, he's saying you didn't go through what black people went through.
I know.
Yeah, he did.
He went through something. I get that, but I'm saying like what they go through type stuff.
Yeah, like
it's just modified.
yeah, it's a difference.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. It's just changed up.
I really think about it, it'll make more sense if you know, if Jesus was black, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, why did they whip him? Because he thought he was, you know what I mean? Like, it believes in what, just what he really believed in. Just like the logic, like, I just don't really believe that another white person will whip another white person. Like, it just sounds so goofy to me.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it just do. Like, make a white person carry a cross all the way up and whip them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How come you say black instead of like? I'm not saying that he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But how come you say black instead of brown?
Black or brown?
Yeah.
It's just black is black, but brown is a different tone of black.
Right. Okay.
So you can call someone brown. Yeah, brown. Like it's just how you would describe your skin tone.
Okay.
What do they call it? I forgot. Because it's a lot of people get ethnicity and race mixed up.
Yeah.
Because they be like, I'm black, but I'm not like African American. Exactly. But you can still be black. Because when people think of black, you like, oh, so you African American. It's people that's black that's Mexican.
Yeah.
Like, it's people blacker than us that's Mexicans or whatever, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more to the story of everything. I just think that there were some evil people that just like, didn't even care about, our, like, as a white individual, we both, as they live and they do their thing, we think that they don't care about us and they just moving for their people, you know what I mean? Just on how we get treated and how jobs are and just how education is and just where we end up and land, But that makes us stronger in a way, but at the same time, that's a hold back, to a lot of people because they scared to do what they fully, want to do because, they feel like that, somebody's out to get them. You know what I mean? Stopping them from doing what they want to do. Some people scared to even get fame because they don't even want all that drama in their family, They'd rather protect their family, not caring about, all that other stuff
like that. So, to move on to the next question, knowing that, we go through stuff now, but the creator who created us as people was the same tone as us, was black. So, how does it feel knowing that growing up today in today's society that you were the same color as the creator back in the day? Does that affect or did that change you in a way, change your mindset, that knowing that the struggles you're going through now, he went through back then, but on a higher scale?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Does that change your perspective in society at all?
For me, I'm gonna be honest, no, not really. Doesn't really change my perspective on society at all.
Or you being in society, you being black and you're the creator who created you also being black.
I mean, I don't know. I
Keep
guess.
it above.
Yeah, I mean, like it don't really affect me like that. You know,
That's real.
I mean, like I understand it and I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm super moved about it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. It's real. And y'all got anything, Joe? Anything to say?
Because it wouldn't affect me because if the creator was still my color, he still created white people.
Yeah, it's real. Okay. You say
that is real.
He still created white people. What?
if you really think about it, like it just makes sense. Like how are we here? Like, you know what I mean? Just like you gotta think about it. We can reproduce white. White can't reproduce us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Like That's what I think.
Speak more into that.
Like,
Speak more into
like you cannot hope, you can put as many whites as you want together, you're not going to get a black.
No, what do you mean? Put whites together.
Like genes.
Gene wise, that's what I'm saying. We have more of
the dominance.
Yeah, the dominance to make. We are the reason of others. Like I feel like we are the true reason of others because of our skin complexion. We don't all come out the same color.
Okay. Yeah.
They only probably got like 2 or 3 skin complexions: pale, the regular, and then a little bit tan. A little bit tan. I'm being real.
That's real.
I'm being real.
It's real.
That's
I'm being real. The only difference you could tell from them is their hair and their hair color and their eyes.
The pale,
Us,
the regular,
legendary.
Okay. So you're saying like when black on black.
Hey, look, I'm not even trying to be funny. I get what you're saying. You black as hell. I'm black. You dark.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we all bring our uniques. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's too many similarities within their kind. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, bro, but it is. It's just so many similarities in their kind, and we expanding and we growing, and that's why we're the face, because that the hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like things like that. Like we bring like out everything out of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, cause we've been brought down so many times. Like, and that shit, like we gotta show people as black people, we got that strength in us to fight, like no matter what. Like we're gonna fight, like we're gonna fight no matter what. We know where we come from. You know what I mean? So we got that energy already built in us to fight for what we want automatically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not to tailor that back to what is God or what color God is, but that's saying like knowing that that's who he was, like what you just said, like the energy he had, like the power to reproduce and be fruitful and be like and just make a generation, you know what I'm saying, blossom. We got that you know what I'm saying, that energy to just be great, be awesome. So as a young black man, have you identified with Christ?
What you mean?
Yeah. Like, there's growth in uncomfortability. Like when you're uncomfortable, you're challenged to grow. Because if you're never uncomfortable, how do you know when you're growing? So, when do you get that? When do you get that acknowledgement of I identify with Christ? Like he's my maker, like that.
My maker, he's good.
I say, I kind of like, I don't know, I could be answering this wrong, but I feel like I kind of recognize God a little bit more when it comes to like close calls. You feel me? Like, for example, like being gone, like actually leaving the wrong place at the wrong time, you know what I'm saying? Instead of actually being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I feel like you always get that gut feeling where it's like, yeah, I need to either get up out of here, or you get out, or when you get up out of here and something happened, you be like, damn, I'm glad I got up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel comfortable sharing an example of something that situation, that close call situation?
Close call.
That made you realize.
I mean, I can't think of nothing off back, but.
Heard you.
I mean,
I got one.
Life
I know I can relate. Just like as simply as going to a party, and just like like people don't know how to have fun nowadays. There's a lot of gang affiliation going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. People don't like people. Just like we split in a way, and just like people can't have fun. And then when people don't know how to have fun, people die and don't know how to control themselves. So like I was saying, I was at a party and I was chilling and stuff, and it was crowded. I don't like crowded parties no more. Facts. Yeah. Like I don't, because it's just too much going on.
You can't chill.
You don't know who's in there, you don't know who's going in and who's going out.
Oh, you got the perfect example for a close call.
What?
Because when folks, when folks have the gun.
I'm not even talking about that. Bro, what? I get what y'all saying. Close calls, gut feeling, all that. But How do you get it? No, for real.
Yeah, it's real.
No, look though. This is a prime example for that because I'm just saying, think about that. You talking about parties getting shot up and all that. How do you get a gut feel? I mean, I feel like that's just some people. That stuff happen. That do happen to people. You get gut feelings to move around, lead a situation. You know.
No, see the thing about.
But look. This is what I'm saying. You know how kids go to school, they start shooting up schools and shit. Where did you get a gut feeling talking about don't go to school?
Let me tell you. Let me explain that to you. You will be lucky if you get a gut feeling.
I'm saying you be lucky. That's one of the million kids.
You will be lucky if you get a sense.
It's mysterious.
It's mysterious.
That's the thing. You will be lucky if you get a sense. That's the thing. That's when you realize you appreciate it.
Oh, let me say this then. Since you realize you appreciate it when that gut feeling happens.
No, look.
Right?
When you know there was going to be a bad situation and you got out of it. When you had a sense that situation was going to get worse.
But then I feel like that's
a good sense to you, letting you know you're appreciating you're letting yourself know that you appreciate that sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that it's God that's just doing it. I'm just gonna say I feel like sometimes it's just common sense.
It's common sense. Now let me say
I've been in multiple situations like that.
Yeah.
But look, think about it, Ezra. Think about it. The situation. Look, let me tell you, the situation could easily start from in front of you to where you had the sense to get up out of there to it being in the next room. And you don't know what's going on.
I've been in that same situation.
And like something happens, boom, boom. You just looking around. Yeah. They open the door. Now, you know what I mean?
It's about the energy thing.
The same situation you literally just sat there and described. But before Brandon was about to tell me about the situation I was in, I've been in that whole situation you literally just said. And I'm not going to say I don't believe in God and that it was a sense from him. It's in my head. What am I doing here? Get up out of here.
Get up out of here.
Of course. But
the situation started in the room.
Of course.
The other person died in the room next to me. And my sense told me, get out of here.
Of course, but the relief to get out of but I'm saying not in action senses. I'm talking about senses before things happen.
Like I feel people when they say, yeah, God gave me that feeling. He told me to do what I get up out of here, all that. But I'm saying, it's still people out here where you know when something like I'm not saying like when you know, but when it does escalate or when something do escalate, you know you shouldn't have been there.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, and
if you did get up out of there, that's because you were smart enough to realize that you shouldn't have been there and you left.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta think about it. The devil is always working, bro.
He working overtime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Devil tried to affect me multiple times. I've been in that situation.
Right. He tries to affect everybody, bro.
Yeah.
That's
3
the
times.
thing.
And I knew when to move and get up out of there.
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro.
So you said that okay, there's gonna be things or choices that people make in life that it's up to them. There's choices of people that make in life that you can't really hold. Like you can't really blame that on God because that's their choice that they choose to make, right? But when you identify with something or someone, you are one with them.
You identify through Christ.
You identify through Christ. When I'm one with Christ, I do the stuff that Christ does.
Right.
So if I step out of the circle and does something that Christ doesn't do, like go in a spot where you know you probably shouldn't be, you're doing something that you know that Christ wouldn't do. That's then the point where you really can't. You're not then identifying with Christ no more. Because you're not doing anything. He wouldn't do that, so you're not doing it. So that at that moment is when you step out of the circle and say, I'm not identifying with him no more. So I'm doing what I want to do.
Right.
And then at that moment, that's where the bad stuff starts to happen.
Right.
But that doesn't have to do anything. I feel like with Christ, that has to do anything like the choices you make when you say I identify with him. Like if I say I'm my mama's child and I'm going to school acting a fool. My mom didn't tell me any way of acting like this. I don't.
You identify by yourself and not your mom.
Yeah, you identify by yourself. You're not following. You're not
following what your mom said. You go to school cussing and shit.
Yeah, you know
damn well. The teacher's tripping and your mom tell you not to do that, and the teacher's literally telling you, if I call your mom, you're not gonna be acting like that. You identifying this yourself, not your parents.
They straighten up because they know who they identified with.
Right.
So when you identify with
So
God,
when you go in
same thing.
public and start acting the fool, you're not identifying through God. You're
Yeah.
identifying through yourself, or technically identifying through the devil.
through the devil, because that's the devil's work. And when you at the moment where you don't identify with God no more, you start doing what you want to do, the devil's work, like you said, then go back and then claim God. People look at your actions and say, "This is what a
This is
Christian
what you
life."
did, but then you still got to think about it. As I was raised up in a community is where you can always ask God for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Once you ask God for forgiveness and start walking
Through faith again.
you're
You're going to be perfectly
You'll
fine.
be perfectly
You got
fine.
God by your side. You're identifying to God.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Now here's the part where we're gonna have like the book, like the questions that I came up with for the book. My God, have you forsaken me? We're gonna have Chris on the screen here, and we're gonna have him ask a question for y'all. So if you all want to look at the screen here, look at the camera, and let's see what Chris has to say.
For the young black male in the city, the young Christian black male in the city, it's important to have a point of identification with Christ, something to find common with Jesus Christ. And it's not hard to find those points of commonality with Jesus. Jesus has a lot in common with the young black man growing up in the city today. Jesus was black. Everyone in that region was part Asian and part African. And if he was in America, he'd be considered black. According to the Jim Crow rule, 1 drop of black blood means you're black. So Jesus would be considered a black man today. But more than that, Jesus knew what it was like to be in danger. As a young boy, as a toddler, King Herod tried to kill all the little boys Jesus' age in Bethlehem. An angel came to Joseph in a dream and told him to take Mary and Jesus and go to Egypt, go to Africa to escape the violent persecution from King Herod. So he knew what it was like to be in danger, and he stayed there until the danger was over. So like the black male in the city today, Jesus knew what it was like to be in danger. Jesus knew what it was like to experience racism. As a Jew in Roman-occupied Israel, Jesus was persecuted, like all the Israelites, by the Romans. In the territories that Rome occupied, the Roman soldiers and Roman citizens and Roman representatives, they could do whatever they wanted to do to the citizens of that region. And the citizens of the region had to just comply with them and do whatever they wanted them to do. He grew up poor. Jesus' family offered up for his purification sacrifice 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons. Now, in the book of Leviticus, in the law, it's required that a sacrifice is offered for the purification of the male child. But it asks for a sacrifice of a bull or a cow, a goat or a lamb. And if you couldn't afford that, as a very last resort, you're allowed to bring 2 pigeons. I imagine if you go out in the desert, you can find them anywhere. But that illustrates that Jesus was not from a wealthy family. He wasn't from a middle-class family. He was from a poor family. He knew what it was like to be persecuted. He knew what it was like to be black. He knew what it was like to be in danger. He knew what it was like to be poor. He knew what it was like to be discriminated against. Jesus knew all these things, the same as African-American males in the city endure them today. And for that reason, the young black men in the city can find a lot to identify with Jesus Christ. Knowing this, what points of identification can you find with Jesus to make him more real to you? And how does that change your life or your impression of God?
Okay, yeah, so that was Chris, and that was the question he asked. So do you have anything in common with him?
Skin color.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I have in common with him.
Like what?
He pushes me. He pushes my thoughts, like what I do, what I wake up for, what am I going to do today, my ideas,
So
what I consume, what I spend my time towards, what I realize.
I'm not going to say...
Those are the things he helps me with every day. That's what we have in common. He reminds me why I'm here, and I remind him why I'm here too.
Okay.
That's what we have in common.
Okay, that was a good one. That was cool.
So in common angle said, like, we been through the same struggle, but I'm just saying I've been through some hard times, and he been through some hard times. So.
Okay.
With me, I want to say, because it's been like situations where you try to tell somebody, like, because Jesus, he didn't necessarily go out trying to prove himself, that saying he was, you know, the Messiah and stuff like that, but it was his own people that turned against him. You know, it was like he was out there trying to tell them like I'm here to save y'all. Like I'm here to redeem y'all, to save you from this lifestyle that you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And they, you know, neglected him and beat him and killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I fear that because I want to be, you know, a leader. I don't want to necessarily be that person. I don't want to seem like I'm that person that, you know, have demand over my people or is like that leader. But I know my traits and I know my gifts that God gave to me, and I know that one of my gifts is to lead. And
facts.
Yeah.
I don't, and I see my life, and I see it like Dad was saying, like he look into the future too much, and I look at it too much too, because I have big dreams of to lead in my people, and it's so many people that've been through it. Like we have so many leaders that's been through it, like which confused me because we went generations and years without, you know, simple things like education. Yeah. And then we look at society now, and don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody. Yeah. But it's people that literally died for them to understand how to write their name, for them to understand their age, for them to vote. But no one cares about that. And God, Jesus, he went through that same thing, and that's what I see in common.
It's just that feeling of being like, you know, it's a horrible feeling to feel like nobody believe in you. Yeah,
especially your own people.
Yeah, that hits different. Like, you know, that when you got people who back you up and believe in you, that brings a different type of energy than if you were on your own and exploring. You know what I mean? Because, you know, there's other people, there's other mindsets, there's other reactions. You know what I'm saying? And you can learn from it. And those always good to have around you. You know what I mean?
So with that being said, how would you relate that to your like everyday life?
What do you mean?
Like,
just what we have in common.
Yeah. So like, since you know that,
like I get what you're saying now, though. But like Victory was in, it was one of them. With how when back then that when nobody believed in him and all that like that, it was his own people. Nowadays, your own people don't believe in you. Nobody can see. Nobody wants to see you in that position. Nobody wants to see you in that position of what you want to be.
Right. And you and the thing is, it's not even people sometimes. It's you too. You scared. You scared too. And you're so scared to be, you know, of like what might happen or what could come with it.
Oh, true that.
You know what I mean? You always worried about those things.
What?
Success.
Like with success, you know what I mean? There's always gonna be, you're gonna lose a whole bunch of times before you're successful. It's bound to happen. You gotta know how to lose to win. Okay. You gotta know what it feels like to lose to be able to win. Like no matter what. Like we remember all those games we lost, but we definitely remember all those damn games we won. Playing for Chris, you know what I mean? It's like that. You remember that stuff. Like those things hit different.
You gonna miss
first
experiences.
Yeah, you gonna miss, but you gonna hit definitely. What differences does any of what we talked about make in terms of your personal one-on-one connection with you and God?
I feel like you can use your connection with God to guide how things can turn out in your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain that better, but yeah.
So to have a connection with somebody, right? You need to know them. No. First thing to have a connection with them, you need to know them.
No. Not really.
I can't know you.
No.
No.
Niggas in jail. Niggas in jail. They got connection with all type of women. They sweet talking through the phone.
No, I mean like I have to know
actual connection.
An actual connection.
Oh,
so, like
I met God.
I know you.
I know you. I know you. You have to.
No, but look, no.
Go ahead.
I don't know what way y'all just got that perspective. I'm saying like, was you trying to connect that to God? Is what I'm saying.
No, I was going to connect it with God, but
that's what I'm saying.
It applies to everybody.
Jail, they don't know. They don't be knowing people in jail. They just talk to them on the phone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but before you talk to someone,
so you technically don't need to know them though.
I get why you're saying that. I do get.
Because we ain't shook God in. You ain't shook God in.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I've met them too. Everybody have their different experiences.
If you really think about it, yeah.
No, that's honest. Like you. Okay.
Bye. He said bye. He left. No, but for
It's
real,
a faith thing.
It's a faith thing. You have to have in order to
You like
know
no. Let me
someone.
use this example. Do you believe in wind?
When?
Wind,
Yeah.
like the breezes. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen wind?
I seen dust.
But
Yeah,
that's
I
only
seen
when there's
wind.
dust in it. Have you ever seen wind though? Have you ever
Feel it.
seen it? You feel it. It's the same thing with God. I've never seen it. I've never been introduced to it. I just know it's there.
You know, it's
Because when I
And
was
you
almost,
know, and I've said with my.
but hear me out. When I almost suffocated when I was 4 years old from my own father, that was just dust thrown in the air. That's how I know he was there. When my mama was going through all that sickness and she got healed, that was dust thrown in the air because I know he was there. It's stuff like that. That's why I get confused when people be like, I know he there. I ain't got to be introduced to him. He know me. He created me.
That's no.
I know who he is.
I just literally said that.
No, you didn't, because you just walked out.
Bro, you want to fight, bro? Because we get it busted.
All right, so you don't need to know somebody to have a connection with them.
Thank you.
You gotta have a connection with the man that created you.
All right. You got me with that one.
Yeah, I know.
Tank 5.
What just happened, bro?
Everybody else that can't do nothing.
Alright, so look, you have to have a connection with somebody to get to know them. Right? Or you have to know somebody to have a connection with them.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what you're saying?
What happened?
Or you don't have to have a connection with somebody to know them.
What type of no do you mean is what I'm trying to say. Like presence of no?
Like knowing them. Like I know you, I know you.
I know you, nigga.
Right. So do I have to have a
Do you have to have
connection
this?
with
What do you believe? You say you don't have to have
I'm
that.
saying if you ain't never seen him, or like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What on earth is that thing?
Or like
Yeah.
no. But if you like on the phone and we talking every day, I know you, so you don't need a connection.
Okay. Alright, cool. So you don't need a connection with them.
No.
To know them. Alright, cool. That's real. So
mysterious.
it's
Okay,
mysterious.
then what is your
Like he just
definition?
said, like what Victory just said.
What's your definition of
When he say that he was there, you don't.
That's what it falls.
You
don't
never,
know
you
him,
ain't,
but
you ain't had a
you-
connection with him,
Right.
but you know him.
But
You
you know
there,
him.
right? That's
You
what
know
I'm
him.
saying.
Okay, how would you build a connection with somebody you don't know?
All right, nah, shit.
Would y'all have to have a
That's a-
how would you build a
I mean,
connection
I
with
feel like
somebody?
it all just comes back to faith.
Faith?
True
Faith.
that. That's
If
real.
you're doing it every day,
Doing
know
what
I'm
every
saying?
day?
Like,
Doing what every day?
like, okay, you got your little,
To be honest,
your
surviving.
little Bible
Surviving.
sessions going on. You know what I'm saying? Like every day, you like, you trying to get to know more about him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Knowing more about him. I think that's a key
I feel like
thing.
if you're trying to know more about him
Mm-hmm.
or Jesus or you know whatever you trying to know more about, you feel me? I feel like that's really it. Like if you do that every day, that's all you can do. Like
Yeah.
that's literally all you can do.
Yeah. Get to
You
know
know
who
what I'm
he
saying?
is.
You right about him too. You know,
Yeah.
if you learn about him, I feel like you're good.
Yeah.
I mean that, and it's moments where you're gonna start to walk in that faith with God, you know, because it's God is in us. The Holy Spirit is literally within us. That's our spirit. And when, like you said, your steps is when you get to know them. That's when he sent. That's when you're in the wilderness. We're in the wilderness if everything going crazy, like people dying, people not understanding things. He wants you to go through that.
Right.
He put you there so you can go through that, because that's gonna make us stronger. And then you're gonna start to walk with God, and then that's when we go through all our experiences. That's when we can go to the younger people and tell them that it's gonna be okay, because he got something planned for you. You're gonna have the moments where it's tough and stuff like that, but then he's gonna start walking with you.
Yeah.
That's when you start to have that connection with him. It's gonna be a connection. Like you said, you ain't gotta see him
You
to have a
gotta see him to have a
connection.
connection with
You
him.
gonna grow one. Even if it's on the phone, I could be on the phone with God every day. Don't hear a word from him. I'm growing that connection.
True that though.
That's real. That's real.
Through prayer, you're growing that connection. It all
real.
ties together. So you end up growing the connection.
It ties together, but it's all mysterious at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like every day you keep trying to, or not trying, but you keep growing this connection and more of a connection with, like, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like, what am I growing this connection with?
Yeah.
But you know you're growing the connection.
It's that faith. Yeah.
It's that
faith.
faith. You feel me?
Yeah.
So what
like,
would you
you know,
do? How would you? Should it be a routinely based thing that you're growing and connect? Like, is it a day-to-day thing? Is it like a weekly, monthly, like whenever you want it to be? Or it's like when you're down, when you're up. Like, when do you do it both times when you're down?
Depending on, I think of it depending on how close you want to get, you know, with God. Because some people, everybody got their own levels of how much they want to get, you know, to know God. You know, some people are meant to be like followers of Christ, you know, and we're all followers of Christ. I just try to word that differently, but everybody got that different level of where they want to get. Like,
in a relationship with somebody, you can choose where you want to get.
Exactly, you know,
you want to be associates, you want to be friends, you want to be best friends.
Yeah,
you want to push and be my girlfriend.
Man, that's a different. That's the everyday.
You want to move in with me?
That's day to day.
That's a day to day. That's real, and that's real. That's a real point to make.
You're blind for that.
That's a real point to make.
So she's talking every other week.
So she's talking every other week.
Best friends, you talking every weekend,
and you get the benefits of being.
You want to be my girlfriend,
being a friend, of being an associate. There's different levels of stuff you get. Like,
honestly though, I ain't not gonna say I totally agree. I feel like someone who has been trying to build their connection with God for 100 days can have the same connection with God as someone that's been trying to build their connection with God for
100 years,
or somebody that just learned about him and they like, okay, you know, it's just like this person just may know more than you. You feel me? Like, that's facts. This person just knows more. This person doesn't, but I feel like the connection is still the same.
The connection's the same. Why you say that?
Because like then it would be like favoritism almost.
Favoritism?
I won't say favoritism. Listen, I won't say favoritism. I won't say favoritism. I would just be like, I don't think it's fair for somebody to be like, yeah, I got a bigger connection with God than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that's unfair.
As long as you say you got a connection with God, that's it.
I mean, somebody,
it's the same connection.
somebody who has a bigger
more.
connection with God wouldn't even say nothing like that.
Right? Yeah, because they know the point. It's like when you're in a team, when you're in a basketball team,
who would say that?
You're all on one team. It's not
Exactly.
Like,
it's not gonna
it's not
be
like the main person.
I'm carrying this team.
Right?
You know,
we not gonna talk about that because that has happened multiple times.
No,
but
listen,
realistically,
you can't be one person carrying the whole team. Everybody's an organism in the
because there
organization.
is no I
in team, and that's real. That's real. Your connection may be deeper. I feel what you're saying. Like, it may be like,
I wouldn't even say deeper either.
Not deeper?
I would just say you just know more.
You just know more.
Yeah,
that's
like
real.
God create prophets to lead the people.
You just know more.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can teach me. Like
and
Chris.
you can teach
like
me.
Chris.
You can teach us. Whoever, you know what I'm saying? You see people at church. I'm sure people at church tell you stuff. You feel me?
Chris
like,
been learning about God since he was born.
You feel me?
Hey,
And he ain't doing nothing but passing knowledge, and knowledge is good to have.
It's fruitful.
But like, it would just be unfair for Chris to be like, my connection is bigger than your connection.
Man, something wrong with them.
That is the end of What Is Love, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be in any of the episodes, we're having new seasons coming up. Stay tuned for that. If you want to be in any of the episodes, comment below your name. We'll get you in one of these. And yeah, that's about it.
Bye! Dude, I just called a plug and his phone was unplugged. I was looking at Doug like, ooh, ooh.